Hey everybody, Jacob Rhodes with TrueTrac here, and what I want to do in this video is run you guys through how to put the dust collection nozzle on your saw and how to trim it, how to trim the anti-chip strips, and get both of those ready to use basically. So we'll keep it simple, but I've already got the saw here. This is the one I've been doing demonstrations with lately. Already got our saw base plate on there, and it has a zero clearance block already installed. If you're starting from scratch and you want to do the dust collector right off the bat rather than the ZCB, feel free, you can leave the ZCB off. The dust collector is still going to have the exact same anti-chip properties on the outside. It has a little bump on the bottom of it that's going to go down and touch the workpiece. That way you've got, anti-chip on the outside of your blade, just like the zero clearance block gives you, with the added benefit of dust collection. So basically, all I've got to do is it uses the same bolt pattern as the zero clearance block. And so we take the zero clearance block off, get those bolts out of there. And the zero clearance block uses flathead hardware with an 82-degree countersink on it. That way it seats really nicely. And the dust collector uses panhead. So if you've ever wondered what the difference is, one's got a countersink, one's flat. Panhead also has a rounded head on top. Anyway, so now we take our little dust collector. It's got the two bolt flanges there. You pick the notch that is closest to the front of the blade. We have two notches, that way you have left-hand and right-handed blades covered on the same plate. If you're adapting your own plate, take a look at all the measurements. You only have to go 1/4 inch deep on this. You can actually do it without taking your saw off. Get the right bolt. So throw this in here, and basically we just get the bolts tight, and the notch is going to help locate it. The bolt ears that they go into here are going to locate it, and it just makes it simple. It's a nice, easy accessory to put on, and the bolts squeaking like that is normal. You're actually forcing the brass apart because it's just a knurled surface on the outside that digs into the plastic. That's how the brass insert seats itself. But get them nice and snug, it's not going to go anywhere. That's all there is to putting the dust collector nozzle on the bottom of the plate. Like I said, if you've got to mill out your own slot and drill your 2 holes, it's not too bad if you got a router table. But we're going with this one here, which has already got the slots milled into it. So we've got that on there. We've got a blade. Actually just put a new one on here. And we're going to retrim the anti-chip strips on the track. So I got a new piece of anti-chip strip on the track and the dust collection nozzle. So let me plug the saw in, get the track set up here, and then I'll show you what to do. Alright, so we've got everything set up here. The first thing you want to do when you're trimming your anti-chip and the dust collection, or the zero clearance block if you just want to use the ZCB, the easiest way to do it is trim the piece on the saw first. Okay, then come back and trim the anti-chip strip on the track. The reason you want to do that is the apparatus that you choose on the saw is going to put down pressure on the anti-chip strip whenever you're cutting it. It's going to prevent it from chipping and tearing. Whenever it, if it catches on a blade tooth and wants to lift up, it basically reduces the failure mode for the anti-chip strips. So the first thing you want to do is just pull your anti-chip strip a couple of feet out of the track. You can take it out all the way if you want. But basically we do that just so we have an open area here. And then we're going to set the saw and plate on top of the track, and we're just going to plunge cut straight down through the dust collection nozzle, or the zero clearance block. And that's going to custom fit it to your saw. With the dust collection nozzle, it also fully encapsulates where the sawdust is created, so it makes it a little bit more efficient at getting the dust out of there. Okay, so I've got it set up here. We're going to make our plunge cut. It is a dust collection nozzle. I'm going to use a shop vac just to make it easy, mainly because I have one sitting here. And I'll show you the difference, because I did one earlier without the shop vac, so that way you can kind of compare the two. Okay, so we'll flip that on, we'll do our plunge cut, and we'll go from there. So it really is that simple. All you've got to do is go through, make your plunge cut down into the dust collection nozzle. And what that does, as you can see here, is it gives you an exact fit around your blade. Okay, again, that little nub that's sticking down is for your anti-chip on the bottom or outside of your blade, excuse me. Okay, so now we've got our dust collection nozzle trimmed correctly. We're going to come in, we're going to move our anti-chip strip back down, and what I usually do is I leave about 8 to 9 inches at the end of it that is free. That way there's a place to start the saw, and then you just want to lay it and make sure it's fully supported on a piece of scrap lumber, and you want to do a skim cut. You barely want the teeth of this blade to go below the anti-chip strip. So we'll grab it, throw it on here, adjust our depth of cut. So now that we got the depth of cut adjusted, we'll just go down through and we'll make the cut. And again, I'm going to use the dust collector. Now once you get to the end of your cut, you're going to bring your saw backwards, and then you want to slide your anti-chip strip back so you can finish trimming it. Okay, and again, you want it to be fully supported the entire length. All right, so now we just roll back up here, and since we've already trimmed this, we haven't moved the track, it's going to fit right back into that groove, and we'll finish up the cut. And just like that, we've got our anti-chip strip cut the entire way down through there. Now the track's ready to use, the dust collector's ready to use, and you're good to go.